in a way. Today we're going to have a look at a pen that is rather special because there's only one of these in the world. The pen I'm talking about is currently stored in this cute little pouch, and I'll give you a little bit of background on this as I unwrap this. The pen is made by Ryan Krusac of Krusac Studios. Ryan is an incredibly nice guy who, if I remember correctly, so I hope I'm now not making this up, but if I remember correctly, he trained in woodworking and such. And he started out, I would say, making very nice kit pens with scrimshaw, that kind of really nice work on it. But now he's actually making his pens all by himself, like make every part except for the nib and feed converter, of course. He makes them himself, and he does very nice work. Now, he makes some pens, the L14, the L16. I think I reviewed an L14 a while ago. But so the 16 is just a bigger version of the L14, which you can get different types of wood and such. But here's what happened. Aziza was obviously very fond of one of her cats, and unfortunately that cat passed away. These things happen, and I wanted to give her something as a keepsake, sort of, and I didn't really know what. So suddenly I thought of Ryan, because he's not just it's not just woodworking, with all respect for woodworkers, but he's also an artist, like an actual a painting artist. I contacted him and I said, "Can you make a pen with a painting of the cat on it?" And he said, "Of course, I do pet stuff all the time. Send me a picture, I'll send you some stuff." So went back and forth a bit. And then at the DC Pen Show in August 2017, we picked up the pen. And this is it. So, first of all, this cute pouch is, his daughters have their own little pen pouch making company. And it's a cute pouch. It's a little pen sleeve, pen kimono, or whatever you like to call it. It works very well, cute little liner, so that's nice in itself. But then here we have the pen. So I'm going to do everything I normally do. I cover the parts of the pen, I'll tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and I'll do a writing sample. But of course, what I kind of want to emphasize here is that this is a commission piece. So you cannot rush out and buy this. But if you have something that you want, I don't know, immortalized maybe sounds a bit too grand, but something you want to see pictured on a pen, consider Ryan. Okay, let's look at this pen. It's the L14 model, which looks like this, okay? And this is an ebony body with a painting on it. And I'll try to show you the painting in a bit more detail in a second. We came up with labradorite on the finial, because that kind of matches the cat's eyes well. So it's a little difficult because I kind of have to capture that in the light, but you see it very well on top of the cap there. It's very shiny. I think it looks black, but it's actually a very dark brown. But it's always hard to capture that on camera with light and such. But if I hold it up to the sun, it's a very dark brown, which is very nicely lacquered, so it's very shiny. And then here you have the artwork. Now, hard to capture because of course it's on a cylindrical surface. But I'll try to make sure there is a good picture of it on the website. But what I can tell you is, of course, I knew this cat very well too, and this is a very good representation of the cat. Ryan, in his painting, really captured the character of the cat. This particular one had enormous eyes, for example, and that's really represented on there. But even down to the whiskers, even eyelashes, the amount of detail is incredible. Of course, it is signed, because that's what an artist does. I wouldn't want it any other way, but at the bottom there is Ryan's signature. So they have that. And that's, of course, what makes this pen so special. I think the L14 is a nice model to begin with. But that's the picture he used. Okay? So I'll try to put something like a picture on the website, that picture and this next to it, so you can sort of compare. Okay, so the L14, a nice pen to begin with, but now of course it's customized, and that makes it special. So it unscrews, cap unscrews, You have the nib. You just have a range of options. I'm pretty sure he uses Jovo nibs, but you can basically get what you want. In this case, we did a 1.1 millimeter stub. That's the Ryan Krusac Studios logo on it, and the section is ebonite. So there's ebony of the pen and ebonite for the section. Cartridge converter filled pen, very simple. Just a simple Schmidt converter, does exactly what it's supposed to do. You can put in international cartridges if you prefer that. There you have it. Now, it's not really meant to be posted, right, because it's wooden wood, so that it doesn't really work that way. And as I said, the L14 is the smaller of the two. The L16 is a bit bigger, but even this for me is actually a comfortable size. It's a good section diameter. It's not too skinny, so I think the whole pen looks like it's balanced. And it's comfortable to hold. It's very pleasant. So what do I like about the pen? What do I not like about the pen? Well, in this particular case, there's obviously a lot of emotional stuff involved, right? Because you commission a piece like this to commemorate, in this case, a pet. So I have to take a sip. And I think that painting really came out beautifully. So when Aziza saw this, she was very elated because it was immediately recognizable as her cat. So it's not like, oh, it's a pen with a cat. No, it's her cat, and she recognized it as such. We had a little ploy going on where when we were approaching, he put it out on the table so she could discover it. It was very cute. And I think the artwork is of very high quality. It's how shall I put that politely? It's not like sort of an amateur tried to do this in his attic and it looks horrid. No, it's really high quality paintwork. So I think that's great. As a pen, it's nice. It's not my pen, it's Aziza's pen. That's why I picked the L14. She has smaller hands than I do. So I think for her it's a very good match in size. And even for me, it's a comfortable size. So I do like it, and I do like the size. But as I said, the special thing here, and that's what I wanted to focus on, is the artwork. The process was very smooth. I sent Ryan a picture, he did a mock-up, he sent it to me. I said I like that because I immediately love what he did. But of course you could go back and forth a couple of times, and that all works well. So very smooth. It ended up on the pen perfectly, beautiful, and that's great. Now as a pen, it does everything it's supposed to do. Jovo nib, Schmidt converter, it inks up, it writes, no complaints there whatsoever. So good writer. And you know, if you use Jovo nib, you know what to expect. It's just a nice writer. So I think it's very nice. Both the shape of the pen and the artwork is outstanding. Things I don't like about it so much, well, to be honest, not a whole lot. If it would be for me, I would probably get the L16 because it's just a bit bigger. But as I said, it's not for me. The one thing that I would say is if you have to complain about something, you have to realize this is custom-made artwork for you. So just like buying a painting, you typically don't buy a $5 painting and get a masterpiece. So with the quality of the work, the price goes up and you pay more. But I don't think that's unreasonable. This is handwork. It's a handmade pen with a hand-painted bit of art on it, so that you pay a bit more than you would for, say, a TWSBI 580. I think everyone will understand that that is the case. Still, I found the price very reasonable. And I'm not going to give you a price simply because Ryan quoted me one price based on the work he did for me. Someone else might have other work, might get another price. I mean, I can't, you know, I just don't want to get into that. But what I will say is this: it was more than $5. You know, you pay a few hundred. And again, I don't think that is unreasonable, given the quality of the work and the smooth process, and it was done in a very reasonable time frame. And of course, that also depends on how busy he is. But I think it was a very pleasant experience. So, what I wanted to do, of course, I'm going to do a writing sample, but I mainly here wanted to focus on the art. And if you have anything in mind, like commission artwork on a pen, then my experience with Ryan has been very, very pleasant, and I would without a doubt recommend him for this type of work. And that's all there's to it. So Ryan, thanks a lot. Aziza loves this pen. It's really something that has added something to her life, and that was of course the intention, so that worked out very well. We're going to see how the pen writes, Measurements of the pen as well as high resolution pictures will be on the website sbrebrown.com. Hope this was useful so far, and I'll gladly see you later. Bye bye. Okay, so here we go with the Ryan Krusac Studios, but just for time's sake, I'm just going to write down Ryan Krusac. Now I made it Krusac. Sorry, Ryan. Ryan Krusac. Krusac. L14. I'm just going to write down art because it's a commission piece. The nib is a 1.1mm stub, and the ink is Iroshizuku Tsukiyo. Let's do some writing. Nice nib, nice line variation, just naturally, without any pressure. Fast writing, always difficult with a italic nib, I find, because it's easy to misalign it and then it won't write if you do it very quickly, but still, sorry, it's a pretty good performance. Wetness, no complaints there. Well, line variation, as I said, just because of the shape of this nib, there is line variation. And it's fairly stiff nib, but I don't think you really need any pressure for line variation, as there is quite a lot to begin with. Reverse writing, it doesn't really make sense with a stub because of the shape. It is actually very smooth, and it seems a bit drier, so you get a slightly different color out of your ink, but that's pretty much all. So there you have it, Ryan. I'm very appreciative of your work. I think it's turned out beautifully, just what I wanted. Guys, I hope this was useful. And as I said, it's a review that focuses more on the art and the process than the actual pen. But I just wanted to make sure that if you want to do something like this, then there is at least one person out there that can really help you. Hope they were useful, and I'll gladly see you later. Bye bye.
Bye.